Batman TLH, The Last Halloween 3 Shocking Twist. Gordon's son rescued, Falcone strikes, Christmas Eve in Gotham City. For most, it's a time of cheer, but for me, it's just one more day tangled up in the most challenging case of my life. Sound of shuffling puzzle pieces, puzzles, muses the Riddler, surrounded by stacks of jigsaw boxes in a department store aisle, a sale sign glinting nearby. He holds a single puzzle piece, a confused look on his face. Up. Aisle. He drops the piece as a low voice cuts through the quiet. On Halloween night, Commissioner Gordon's son was kidnapped. There's been no ransom demand, no word from the kidnapper. Batman stands there, grim-faced, gripping something heavy. I made a promise to Gordon that I would find his boy. His child's absence is tearing him apart. Suddenly, the Riddler bolts, scrambling away amidst a swirl of falling puzzle pieces. Batman's voice follows him, cold and sharp. His pain has become my pain. Riddler calls back, a frantic challenge in his voice. When does a cat not meowwww? Batman's answer is swift and chilling. When it's a dead cat. The lack of clues is discouraging. Batman growls, the frustration palpable in his voice as he levels a firearm at the fleeing figure of Edward Nygma, the Riddler. Sound of a gun cocking. From behind the cold steel barrel, the familiar green suit and derby hat are squarely in his sights. Sound of gun blast. The muzzle flashes, a searing orange light against the red background. The Riddler recoils, clutching his arm, a pained grimace twisting his face. He stumbles backward, green puzzle pieces scattering around him as he falls amongst unsuspecting holiday shoppers. There's one man who would find that. Exhilarating, Batman thinks, watching him drop. His obsession with unraveling mysteries is his trade. Batman stands over the injured Riddler, two other figures mirroring him, dark and imposing, gripping firearms. As much as it unnerves me, Batman's internal voice rumbles, I have no choice but to seek his help. I do not expect him to be responsible for the kidnapping, but I suspect he knows who is. Lying on the floor, the Riddler holds up a gloved hand, his voice shaky. I won't say anything, I promise. Batman's heavy boot looms near the Riddler's hand. Chilling green eye stares up, wide with fear, at the cold steel barrel of a gun. No, Batman states, his voice devoid of mercy. You won't. Sound of a devastating gunshot, blam. Teeth fly, mixing with scattered puzzle pieces and a splattering of red. That puts his life in jeopardy. Police tape screams, do not cross. Batman observes the scene, noting grimly, to make matters worse, a copycat of the serial killer Holiday is on the loose. He holds up an evidence bag containing a firearm. Same choice of weapon, same MO using Holiday's. The difference is the victims, he or she, or they are hunting the so-called freaks of Gotham City. Catwoman, Penguin, Solomon Grundy is missing. Gotham EMS workers are on the scene. Two investigators, one male, one female, stand by. Good to see you out from behind the desk, Jim, one says. The other replies dryly, yeah, well, 'tis the season, Lopez. The female investigator holds a small Batman mask. James, my son. Was dressed as Batman on Halloween when she begins, her voice catching. Another voice cuts in, stern and focused, holding up two fingers. We'll take that. And the .222. He looks pointedly at the two investigators. Do you two have to work at being unpleasant, or do they teach that at the FBI? Where are we with Nygma? Asks Agent Edwards, his voice sharp. The medical tech replies, holding an IV bag. He's stable, ready to move. Edwards insists, get him to Arkham. The tech pushes back slightly. Gotham Hospital is closer. I said, ARKHAM. Edwards snaps back. Batman's internal voice notes, that kind of jeopardy makes the Riddler nervous. When he gets nervous, he likes to talk. The other investigator leans in. You just said he's alive. Let me have 5 minutes with him and find out what he knows. The medical tech sarcastically interjects, sure. Why listen to the only underpaid but highly capable medical persons present? He's alive, right? So whoever shot him is still out there, and I'm not keeping the human question mark in a civilian hospital. Edwards turns sharply on the investigator, his finger jabbing. You'd like that, wouldn't you? So you delay us and your Batman can show up. He then points emphatically at the medical staff and the stretcher where Nygma lies. Get that freak to ARKHAM now. Outside Robinson's department store, the ambulance is being loaded. The medical tech grumbles. Feds. What a bunch of jerks. The FBI agent retorts. You got something against freaks. The tech shoots back. as opposed to the model citizen whose life we're trying to save. Everything. Inside the ambulance, the Riddler lies on a stretcher, oxygen mask over his face, looking dazed. The female investigator, Lopez, stands over him. The guy that calls himself the Joker. On New Year's, he's flying over Gotham. She trails off as the ambulance doors close. Sound of ambulance pulling away. The ambulance speeds off down the snowy Gotham streets, past a no-left turn sign. Clinging precariously to the back, a small figure in a makeshift Batman costume and a yellow cape holds on tight, eyes set on the journey ahead. Through the swirling snow of Christmas Eve, a dark silhouette descends. Batman, cape spread wide, drops silently onto the roof of the moving ambulance. His eyes, stark white against the cowl, focus on the vehicle below. One chance, he thinks, the urgency clear in his voice, to get at the Riddler while he is still alone. The Gotham City ambulance speeds through the night, snow still falling. Having been shot, Batman narrates, perched on the roof, have to risk he has his own oxygen supply. He deploys a gas canister towards a vent. Sound of gas hissing. The gas is quick and odorless. Inside, the medical tech and the agent react immediately. KOF. Gag. They cough and choke, blinded by the odorless fumes. The Riddler, however, lies on the stretcher, his eyes open and alert behind the oxygen mask, seemingly unaffected. Batman's reflection is visible in the darkened ambulance window, a set of keys dangling from his hand. We will have 3, maybe 4 minutes. Inside the ambulance, Batman stands over the Riddler, eyes narrowed. Robin is there too, focused intently. Batman's voice is low and menacing. Broke your hand so you can't write. The bullet through the cheek will have your jaw wired for months. He leans in. Someone does not want you talking. You are going to tell me why. The Riddler, face obscured by the oxygen mask, can only communicate with his eyes, blinking rapidly. Batman, he is talking Robin. The young hero translates the blinks. I'm not kidding, the blinks, quick for darts, slow for dashes. Morse code, Batman observes. Robin's training with Alfred is paying off. The Riddler's eyes blink out a message. When is a car? Robin translates. When is a car? Accident, Batman presses seriously. A riddle, a compulsion. Riddler blinks again. When is a car? Accident, not a car. Accident. A beat of silence, and then the answer comes from the Riddler's blinking eyes. When there is no dent. Outside the ambulance, Batman instructs Robin, who stands beside him in the falling snow. The paramedics are going to wake up. Help them. Play the hero. Robin, small but determined, reminds him, I am the hero, remember. Batman turns his attention back to the ambulance. When you get to Arkham, stay outside. Under no circumstances do you enter. Understood. Alfred will come get you. Robin looks down, a slight frown on his face. I should be with you. Batman finishes, his voice firm. Robin sighs, his shoulders slumping slightly. Never get to have any fun. The ambulance arrives at the imposing, Gothic gates of Arkham Asylum, silhouetted against a fiery, snow-dusted sky. Batman watches, a somber note in his voice. Robin is learning, and I appreciate that, but he refuses to accept the inherent dangers we face. A pause. You can take the boy out of the circus. Inside the chilling halls of Arkham, past the cells of Jervis Tetch, Pamela Eiley, and one marked Identity Unknown, Robin walks, the echo of Batman's words in his ears. Play the hero. He stops outside the Identity Unknown cell. Sound of distant, unsettling laughter. A shiver runs down his spine, but he pushes past it, turning towards the cell labeled Julian Day. I'll show him who the hero is. Inside, Julian Day, the calendar man, his head a roadmap of months, stares out. A slow, knowing smile spreads across his face. Welcome back. Inside Arkham, the calendar man stands in his stock cell, a calendar showing OCT 31 taped to the wall. Robin stands outside the reinforced glass. You said you knew something I don't know, Robin states, his voice steady. Calendar man spreads his hands, beckoning. Come closer. He presses his hands against the glass, the months etched on his forehead visible. Closer. It's not like I can escape. Robin remains firm, touching his ear where his calm is. Tell me what you know. Calendar man leans in, a taunt in his voice. You're not afraid, are you? Everyone thinks the calendar man is just a joke. Suddenly, Robin's head snaps up, reacting to something he hears in his calm. Hey! He adjusts his gauntlet, chained to the wall. Suddenly, the heavy door creaks open, and a lithe figure steps into the dim hallway. Catwoman. She stands tall, whip coiled in her hand, eyes narrowed in her cowl. Out, she commands, her voice a low growl. Robin, still chained to the wall, crosses his arms stubbornly. You're not the boss of me. From inside his cell, Calendar Man observes, a slight shift in his expression. HRRM. Catwoman glides closer to Robin, her face now inches from his. She reaches out, a long, gloved finger tracing his cheek. That wasn't very smart, she smirks, pulling her finger away. Like you'd know. Catwoman stands in the doorway, a sinuous silhouette, whip dangling. Out, she commands. Robin, defiant despite being chained, glares back. You're not the boss of me. From his cell, Calendar Man observes the exchange. Sound of a slight shift. Catwoman's eyes widen slightly, a strange, almost cartoonish look as Robin challenges her. I'm not like him, getting all googly-eyed when you show up. He points an accusing finger at her. What is it you want, CATWOMAN? Why are you hiding in ARKHAM? How come you get to walk around when everyone else is locked up? Catwoman leans in close, her face shadowed, a condescending smile on her lips. Her gloved finger touches his cheek. That wasn't very smart. She pulls back, straightening up. Like you'd know. She turns, walking away down the eerie corridor, whip trailing. Little beast, sooner or later you're going to have to learn I'm not like everybody else. Snow blankets the yard of a quiet house, a tire swing hanging still from a bare tree. He bought this house for his loving wife, Gilda. Twice. Batman's internal monologue begins, a note of melancholy in his voice. Once as District Attorney Harvey Dent, my ally. The second time as his deranged alter ego Two-Face, my enemy. Inside the darkened house, Batman stands at the foot of a staircase, his eyes scanning the shadows. A voice echoes down the hall, tentative and surprised. Mario, is that you? Batman remains silent for a moment, then responds, his voice low and heavy with a mix of sadness and resolve. Harvey, you've come back. You've come, he steps into a room filled with boxes, the remnants of a life packed away. A woman kneels among them, her face hidden, hands clasped. Where is the Gordon boy, Mrs. Dent? Gilda Dent looks at Batman, tears streaming down her face. You have to understand, they shot him, they took him away. I don't know if he's alive or dead. Batman's eyes narrow, his face a mask of grim fury. They shot the child. Gilda, clutching a pistol, her voice trembling but firm, explains, Harvey, my Apollo. They made me look after Jim Gordon's son if I ever wanted to see my husband alive again. Batman reaches out, his gloved hand pressing against the wall. Sound of a soft click, KLIK. A section of the wall slides away, revealing a hidden passage. I have known that the Gotham sewer tunnels snake throughout the city, Batman narrates internally. Two-Face often used them to elude capture. He watches Gilda step into the darkness of the passage, guns still in hand. I never suspected they went this far out. Her voice echoes from the tunnel, filled with despair. It's been weeks. Outside, in the cold, snowy air, Commissioner Gordon and another figure stand, guns drawn. Gordon, his face a mixture of fear and hope, holds up a hand. He said no GUNS. Batman watches from the shadows, the weight of the moment heavy on him. I think of my own father and the bond we lost when he was murdered. Jim Gordon deserved better. A small boy appears in the doorway, dressed in a sweater and shorts, staring out with wide, uncertain eyes. Dad, he whispers. Then a radiant smile breaks across his face, his eyes sparkling with pure joy. Dad, he runs forward, launching himself into his father's arms. Gordon drops to his knees, burying his face in his son's embrace, the relief overwhelming. High above the snowy streets of Gotham, in the penthouse that once belonged to the city's untouchable crime boss, Carmine the Roman Falcone. A plush pool table sits in the center of a luxurious room, scattered with billiard balls marked 5, 3, and 8. The sheer curtains of a large window billow in the breeze, letting in the cold air. It is now occupied, Batman's voice is grave, by the sole surviving member of the most powerful family this city has ever known. On the floor, 2 men lie dead, a gunshot wound on one's head, a pistol lying nearby. Then the double doors burst open, revealing a man in a black robe, silhouetted against a decorated Christmas tree. He steps into the room, his voice sharp with shock and anger. What the hell? This is Mario Falcone, the supposedly legitimate son of the Roman. Batman crashes through the penthouse doors, a dark force descending on Mario Falcone. Brother to Alberto Falcone, Batman's voice is a low growl. The original Holiday. Mario reels back, shocked. I found James Gordon. The child whose kidnapping you orchestrated. Mario shouts back, disbelief and fury in his voice. Are you insane? Batman lunges, delivering a powerful punch that sends Mario sprawling. You can't play the good son card with me. Gilda Dent confessed to what you did. Batman's hand clamps around Mario's throat, pinning him down. His eyes burn in the darkness. What did you hope to gain? Tearing apart this city the way your father did, your sister, your brother. Mario, gasping, grabs a gun, his face contorted with rage and desperation. If you spoke to Gilda, then you must realize she's completely out of her mind. He clutches the firearm, eyes wide with accusation. She set me up, the two of them. Batman grabs Mario Falcone's gun arm, twisting the weapon away. Shadows stretch across the room, mirroring the tension. Do you think I'd have anything to do with them? Mario snarls, desperation in his voice. The man who killed my father. Batman forces the gun hand down. She's worse than he is. You don't know how long they've been. Sound of a gunshot, bang. A single shot rings out. Batman stands before a wall of empty picture frames, his cape billowing, his form outlined against the stark red. A hand reaches out, blood dripping. A close-up of eyes wide with terror, a drop of blood near the brow. A small, faint voice says, "No." Batman collapses to the ground, clutching his hand, blood staining his gloves and dripping onto the ornate rug. He glares up, pain etched on his face, as Mario Falcone stands over him, gun still smoking, framed by a large painting of the Falcone family over the fireplace. Mario's face is grim, his voice cold. All this time you've kept a blind eye to the dents. Mario Falcone stands over the injured Batman, gun in hand, his gaze fixed on the painting above the fireplace, a portrait of the Falcone family in their prime. Maybe you were fooled by the man Harvey used to be, Mario says, his voice cold and bitter. But the pair of them, they feasted on the bones of my family. All I ever wanted was for the Falcone name to be revered like the Waynes. Batman, clutching his bleeding hand, looks up at Mario, his eyes burning with a fierce, unwavering light. Blood drips onto his dark glove. His voice, though strained, is filled with grim determination. I am the good son. Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious, stay awesome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing content.